if you're woke, take an Ambien. Like, that's our job, to test things, and it may go over a boundary you don't like. The most inclusive people are the most exclusive. You're canceled. You're a fucking carbon-based life form, but you know what? You said some shit. You're done. What?
Yeah.
How the fuck am I gonna eat?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you.
No one cares.
You know what I mean? Here's a fucking, you know what I mean? And you wonder. And they're gonna fuck with us? I'm sorry, I'm a little heated right now.
I like it. No, this is good.
They're gonna fuck with us.
Yeah.
We're ready to go. We know what color our hair is. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's too much. You can say whatever you want. Shit, you can punch me in the face, but cancel me?
Jamie Kennedy.
What's up,
Man,
bro?
welcome, brother.
How are you, dude?
Dude, I'm jacked up. I'm happy to see you.
Good to see you too, man. Thank you for, he did something. He came out on the street. He's got a lot of people here, but he came out on the street to meet me on my city, which I've been on this block 1 billion times. No one ever comes this side. This is where they sell meth.
Oh, really?
So they redid this. This is a good side of the block because they've gentrified. That's the side where we do. This is shows you our world is so different. ADR, looping, cartoons, cartoon auditions. All those 3 buildings are all on that side, and that's what they do for decades.
Oh, wow.
And this side is now the podcast side.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's crazy.
Well, it's taken a great turn then.
Yeah, it's good.
You know what I mean?
It's good.
You know what I mean?
I actually had 2 girlfriends live in 2 different parts of the street. This is a lot.
At the same time?
I'd like that, but no.
Okay, no.
Yeah,
no.
but thank you.
Yeah, no, it could be too much, right? It could be a lot. It could be a lot to deal with. Be a lot to deal with, man. One's enough.
Yes.
One's enough.
Yes.
Dude, you have such an amazing story, man. When you've come out with stuff recently. You talked about your journey out to LA, and typically, when you are a kid and you have these big dreams, a lot of times teachers can really put you in your place and be like, "Hey, that's not for you. You need to go to college. You need to get your degree. You need to go and get a job and be professional." And your teacher did what for you?
I think I know what you're referring to is my Instagram post. I've had multiple teachers, but one teacher in particular, I was graduating high school. I knew since I was about 15 years old that I wanted to do something in Hollywood. I didn't even know if it was acting or whatever. I just knew I wanted to be in Hollywood. And my mom I wanted to quit high school. My mom wouldn't let me. I'm like, I'm not going to use any of this shit.
Yeah.
So she's like, no, you have to graduate. So I graduated, and she's like, just figure out what you want to do. So I worked at Domino's Pizza, and I got a lot of shifts, and I made a little bit of money. And I took a local acting class. And the teacher was like, I did really well. I'd never done anything like that. And the great thing about the class was just older, younger, black, white, Asian, gay, straight, emo, jock, preppy. It was like 25 of us, but all different walks of life. And my teacher said that you should go to LA at the end of the class. And I said, what? And I go, and do what? She goes, just go. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, just go, take a plane, get off the plane, and just follow your dreams. And I go, but I don't know what I'm doing or where to start. And she goes, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah.
She goes, you're 18 years old. She goes, go. And I really look at her name is Teresa Donahue. I don't know where she's at. If she sees this, I thank you and I love you. And it was an angel. That was an angel moment. That was a divine intervention. And I was like, she was such a good actress. And it was just so bizarre. And people in the class were like, we agree. And so there was not a lot of things in life I was encouraged with. I was the youngest kid in Catholic school and all this stuff. And I had a great life, but you're always the run to the litter. And if you're disruptive in class, you're a problem instead of encouraged.
Right, exactly.
But I was funny. Like I made people laugh, but never ever was that encouraged until that. And then boom. And then when I came out to LA, I tell everyone that everything that you are criticized for in society, no, bad, boo, LA celebrates it.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting because everybody has that one person that sees you for who you are. There could be multiple people, right? They're going to have more people telling you that you can't do something than that you can. And I think one of the biggest things, man, like when you come out here, you're 18, dude, 18 in LA, like, bro, right? From Philly, like you don't have a place to live probably at that point. You got to figure it all out when you get here.
Yeah, everything. I didn't know what it was like to live by myself, or I lived with my friend. I had a friend who said he'll come out with me for a little while. But yeah, I didn't know anything about getting an apartment. I didn't know what it was like to pay rent. I didn't know anything. But it was a different time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the 80s. This is like VCRs were just really becoming all the rage.
Yeah, those were badass.
You know, so it's like, it was a little crazy because I came out right at the height of freeway shootings, and that was like, you know, the scariest thing. And, but it's the place of dreams, you know, it's where modern society has been, you could argue, created through images and film and song, that we've kind of shaped ourselves who we are through this, you know, model of a picture of what we want to be, what we don't want to be, et cetera. It all came out of here.
How long was it before you found your footing, right? Like you hear, because the first was the Malibu Most Wanted wasn't your first thing you did. No, God, no. So like
tons of stuff.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to kind of be like, okay, I'm on the right path here. I've got some shit going on, and I'm going to be able to do this?
It took a while, you know. I tell everyone I struggled for 4.5 years, maybe 5 years. After 5 years, I never struggled again.
Wow.
I mean, I had just struggled in my life, but they weren't like, I was able to get into something and never really look back. But it felt like, you know, 15 years.
I bet. I bet.
But, you know, I watched actors, I'm not going to name names, who I thought were making a living and they were celebrated. I'm like, that person's not that good. But they're learning as they're getting paid. And I'm like, I just have to figure that out. What's the lowest barrier to entry? So, but in the beginning, I knew nothing. You're talking about a person that never lived on their own, never really had, you know, that many girlfriends, I had jobs, but a job that I had to like live on. I took a lot of public transportation. I didn't drive much. So I didn't know anything. And so I had to get the bottom of the barrel, not that they're bottom of the barrel places, but I literally started like food restaurants. I got Red Lobster, which is very good to me, gyms and catering, and it's even competitive there. And then so it took me a long time. I didn't know what a headshot was. I didn't know what a resume was. I didn't know the hustle of, you know, lying about saying you did this when you didn't. I didn't know what a student film was. I didn't know anything. But I just knew that this was the place to do it.
You know, it's interesting because you're talking about that lowest barrier of entry, right? So when everybody starts in the industry, and I can relate because you said 5 years felt like 15. You know, this show took about 3.5, maybe really even, let's call it borderline 4 years before it exploded. And we've just surpassed 4.5 years. So to give you that, and that seemed like a freaking decade.
Wow.
The pain, the solitude at times, right? And I'm in my 40s, you know, and I have a wife and 3 children, but coming out as an 18-year-old and having to deal with that, I was like, fuck, man, I don't know what a resume is. I don't know what any of this shit is. And you had to figure it out on your own. What at the very beginning, right? Was there ever a moment where you're trying to get in, whether it was an audition or something, and you quickly found out, like, oh shit, it's not, you know, all rainbows here. Like this is going to be a little bit of pain to go through to get what I want?
Multiple times. I can give you one really specific before I do that, is that I tell anyone to be a successful, let's say entertainer, but I'll just use comedian because I'm that, and an actor, but let's just say comedian. To be a successful comedian, you have to be 3 parts. You have to have the ego that you are the person standing in a room full of people, and that the ego has to be so big that you feel that you deserve to be listened to. Okay? But you have to have that much insecurity that you need their approval, with a healthy dose of delusion. And so those 3 things, and the 4th thing is is potentially nothing really to fall back on.
No plan B.
Well, yeah, you're literally living your plan because there is nothing else. Like, people that say, I wanted to try comedy because I thought it was funny. My office thinks I'm funny. No, that's not what comedy is. Comedy is your last decision before you plunge a needle in your arm. Now, that sounds dramatic, but the great ones are. And it's like, you know, Sam Kinison, he didn't have a lot of choices. Richard Pryor did not have, George Carlin. I mean, you know, Bill Burr. These people came from hardened circumstances. And that's why they've resonated for decades. And yes, you can be a successful comedian that's had a nice upbringing, but we all have pain. You don't have to have the worst. So that's the philosophy. The second one is I was living in Koreatown right before the riots. Sound familiar?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I had a car. I was paying off a car, a very cheap car. So I got it from like a friend, and they were letting me pay like $100 a month. I was working as a clown for a service where I was a party clown.
No shit.
Yeah, I was doing that, and I was catering. I had left all my stuff in my car, my clown stuff, my license. I put it in the glove compartment, all this stuff. I came out one morning. I was living in a offside room of my buddy who I rented from. My car had been broken into. There was human feces all in the car. All my clown stuff was stolen. My wallet was stolen. My watch was gone. And the car was being towed. I came out and I looked at it as I saw all that and it being towed. So I parked it in the wrong spot, didn't realize it was gonna get towed, and it was broken into.
It got shit in too. That's
shit, like I saw the shit. It was insane.
Human shit, and then someone who steals a fucking clown suit.
I know, so there's some encampment back then that were walking around with bozo shoes. So, and a nose. So I was completely broke. I had nothing. I went into my place. I had like ketchup and a loaf of bread, and I just started crying. And it was like in 1992. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get my car, how I'm gonna get anything. And luckily I had people that did okay, and I like begged them. I said, can you just lend me money to get this and I'll pay you, here's the payment plan. And I had a couple angels, and they lent me some money, and I was able to get the car out and stuff like that. But that was a great turning point of just how hard it is when you're broke. And I can't imagine what people are going through now, because back then rents were $600. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't know how much the wages have come up in 30 years, but at least I could worm my way out of the hole eventually. So there's just many times I've had that, and it's not one break, it's a series of many things. Yeah.
That's an interesting point, dude, because like that moment with the car and everything that went on with it, dude, like that would shut a lot of people down and be like, you know what? I'm going home. But it takes a special person to sit there and say, you know what? I made my decision. There's no plan B, right? There's zero plan. This is what it's going to be, and this is what it's going to work out, right? And you've done that. I mean, look what you've created in your career, man.
Yeah, I would tell people though that it's really simple. There is no choosing it. It chooses you. If you go to bed at night and you're obsessed with, let's just say, the business, let's just say comedy, and you can't stop thinking about, I need to be on stage. Even if you bombed, I need to write a joke. I have something funny to express. If you cannot take a step forward without thinking of that, then you won't do it.
Yeah.
The same with acting. If you need to be an actor, need to be in a movie, I gotta see myself in Man's Chinese. I gotta see myself at Westwood. I gotta see myself on TV. If it's not there, you're not gonna do it. You don't have a girlfriend. You don't go see, for holidays. You don't do it because you're obsessed. And that's it. That's what I tell people. Now, the whole world and the business has changed forever, but it wasn't me choosing that. I was like obsessed. And people will tell you that.
It's funny because when I stumbled into this, I literally accidentally started a podcast. It was start off as a motivational page, like just me messing around trying to help people. And then I'm like, oh shit, it chose me. I'm driving down the road one day and I'm like, I feel led. I need to start a podcast. but I obsessed to a point where my wife said to me one time, she goes, this is all we fucking talk about. Like, and I'm like, I understand, but like, you don't like, I understand, but you don't understand. Cause like, this is what's going to happen. This is how the next 2 years are going to go. And then the next year after that, and the next year after that. And it was so intentional for me that I was willing to go through all the shit, all the silence, all the laughs from the freaking peanut gallery to a point where I'm sitting here with you right now with an amazing team supporting me and going on this journey with me. Like,
what's the peanut
obsession.
gallery?
I just like idiots just talking, right? It's like,
online?
That's a bait. No, not online. Just like, you know, you have friends like, hey man, you see what Sean's doing? What a fucking idiot, man. He's not.
They're not your friends.
No, they're not. Right?
They're not your friends.
Point, right? And we don't have any interaction with them anymore. But like those were the moments that I'm sitting here listening to what you're saying is like, oh shit. Like I tried to walk from this before, but it grabbed me like, no, dude, you ain't going anywhere. This is what you're doing. This is your purpose. You get to do this.
Yeah, and it's really about if you do what you love, money will follow. Like I would not tell one person, get in the entertainment business to make money. It's like, I mean, you can.
Yeah.
But you got to go through a lot of things, and it doesn't. And there's absolutely no guarantees. I think we've been set up. The world conned us because they set us up with this thing of guarantees. There's no guarantees.
Right.
Fucking people pay $250,000 to go to college and hope to get a job. That is fucking dumb. Okay, unless you're getting a kissed in from a white collar Ivy League school. There's about 15 schools that matter. The rest are a keg party. That's blunt truth. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Basically OnlyFans is a major minor at FSU. ASU too, right there. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
But you're telling the truth though, right?
Yeah, and it's like, come on, man. This is like, I'm gonna go to college and get a degree for what?
What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, now. So when people and you don't need a degree in our business, and people want guarantees, it's just a different world. And the problem is, I call it the traditional industrial complex, meaning families, communities, they put all this bullshit on their children to do this and to follow in this, not knowing that the world is fucking changing.
Where do you think it comes from,
minutes.
Where do you think it comes from, though? Because it came
Where
from
does that come from?
Yeah, because it's come from somewhere, right? Was it the Great Depression?
Well, for me, yeah, my parents were born during the Great Depression. So that's a different thing, and I understood it. I was born far enough down the line that things were changing, and they were so tired that even though they resisted certain things with me, they also just were like, okay, let him do what he does.
Yeah,
he's a little cray-cray.
Yeah.
But there's that, there's boomers, there's my generation, which is Gen X, which is, we were let outside, and your mom was like, go out. So you go out, and we're going to go play. And then you come home at midnight and your mom was like, why are you back so early?
Midnight?
Exactly.
You guys have played till midnight?
Well, that's like they didn't want you. They wanted to do their own thing, and your mom's smoking a cigarette on the porch. She blows it in your face. Well, okay, that was
go throw a football.
It was another vitamin. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, and I'm not. And we have our own thing. Millennials have their own thing, and they've been screwed in a lot of ways. And Gen Z literally thinks they can identify as a beach ball. So you have many.
Or a litter box.
Yeah. So every generation has its different things, but the traditions I see with people, they have to understand that the world's changing. And for me, people say, well, I'm an old man in certain ways, they say, because I believe in common sense.
Yeah. How dare you, right?
And they confuse that with identity, and that's a whole other podcast. But the world's technology is what people have to understand what's changing. Technology and how that's the biggest disruptor in our planet.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, just yesterday, the robo-taxi was, I've been taking Waymos for a little while, but the robo-taxi was a big thing on X. Okay.
I didn't see that.
Well, it was the first one in Austin yesterday. But the difference is that you can buy a Tesla, turn it into a robo-taxi, and basically it's like you're moving Airbnb. So will
Holy
you let
shit.
your car be a taxi if you don't have to work? And so these are the type of technologies. So if I'm a kid and I'm in high school, if I'm old enough, I want to get my dad to help me buy a robo-taxi so I can make money while I'm in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot of little hustles here.
Right,
In
right.
many ways. You can stream, you can video game, you can, people sell products drop shipping. There's a billion ways.
Yeah.
So it's a different world. I think the smartest minds will figure it out, but AI is going to do a lot. And
It already is too.
we have to figure that out.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting because you brought up the whole degree thing, right? I went to college strictly
Where'd you
because
go?
I went to Louisiana State. So I want to talk about a keg party.
LSU?
I played baseball there.
LSU. So
Yeah.
that's what you would say. Would you say
Yeah.
yeah,
Louisiana
confused
State,
me because I
LSU,
never
yeah.
heard that. Like they used LSU.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
It's LSU. Yeah.
So you went to LSU, which sounds like an amazing school for parties.
Fuck it, in baseball.
Baseball. So that's their football too.
Well, so traditionally it's baseball.
What
know.
did you play?
I was a catcher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, if it wasn't for baseball, I wouldn't have gone to college. Like I had no shot. I mean, it was
Yes.
I was a C- student at fucking best.
Did you go all 4 years?
So I did JUCO for 2 years, and then I finished up at LSU. I went to the College World Series in 2003. It was awesome. It was awesome.
And then did you go out to the farms?
No, I got hurt.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing. My degree, useless.
yeah, but you're a special case because it
Yeah.
was all about your arm.
Yeah, it was all about my arm. It was all about the experience and the getting to do at the time was what I wanted to do. I wanted
But
to play
boosters
professional.
probably said, I like this kid and hook you up with a job.
No, can't do that. Dude, I got suspended. For a whole week. Listen to this shit.
Well, don't sell dime bags.
I'm trying not to. No, that would have been arrested.
All right.
No selling dime bags.
Okay.
I
In
worked
New
at-
Orleans? That's arrested?
Well, that's Baton Rouge.
That's fucking teeth
I know.
down there.
That's just
Go ahead. In
now
03?
probably it's like oregano. Just sprinkle
Yes.
that shit on top and you're good. But yeah, dude, I got suspended for working a baseball camp at my coach's facility. He asked me to work. Hey, Shawn, you come work. I'll pay you $50. Then I get called into compliance like 2 weeks later. Hey, did you work at so-and-so's camp? I go, I sure did. Did you make money? I go, yeah, I made $50. They suspended me. So no, back then you couldn't do
And
any
now
of that.
NIL.
Oh, holy shit.
No.
Dude, there's some serious contracts. Serious
So I
contracts.
can't believe it. So, but then you had to figure it out.
Had to figure it out. And, that was also very risky, right? Going to play college baseball. And, I started in life a lot later. But what I truly believe is, did it teach me something? The baseball end of it? Yes, it truly did. Teamwork, collaboration, taking care of myself, seeing a goal and fucking going for it and not listening to the outside noise. That was very impactful for me. Also, getting through school taught me the only thing I remember about college, Jamie, outside of the parties and the fun that I had. Okay. And maybe a gymnast here and there. But
I had a big thing there too.
dude. So the thing that I remember was I have to do this so I can do that. And sometimes you have to do the certain things you don't want to do the thing that you love.
Yeah, you know the saying.
Yeah.
You choose the hard road
Easy life, baby.
for an easy life. And
Yeah.
you choose the easy road for a hard life.
Exactly. So they just attended
weak
our TED
men
Talk.
make hard times. Hard times make strong men.
Strong men.
men.
Yeah, so all the
circle.
all the good ones. And the audience is here for it, right? Because they resonate with this stuff. But dude, man, you're one of the funniest sons of bitches I think I've ever got the pleasure to meet. And
Thank you.
And watch you over the years. From the Scream movies to your hidden TV show to all the stuff you do with Malibu Most Wanted. Like I love the way your mind works, man. And I watched something recently that, my partner Pat sent it to me and I'd already seen it. It was the recent clip that you shared about the volleyball game at the beach where, dude.
That was a prank clip.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
It was fucking hilarious.
You like that one.
I did like that.
Yes.
I did like that. I actually secretly thought, I'm like, what? How come I never got to experience, going to a function and everybody
So
being
explain to
naked?
your crowd what it is.
Yeah, please.
It was did a prank on my show, The Experiment, and we did. I always say it was more than pranks. It was like psychological tests to see how far. So we had these actresses who were always so good. We had about 3 blondes, And I say that because just blonde girl actresses really are committed. These girls were incredible. And because they're doing real people into a prank so that people don't know they're going to be pranked. And so this girl met a guy through some dating thing and said, want to come on a date, meet my family. That was set up. And so she brings him on and her family is nudists. So it was me, another actress who was my mom, who's her mom, who's topless, and our grandmom who's topless. And we're all in Speedos. And we shot it in Miami. We did 2 weeks of pranks in Miami. And the guy was like, this was your family? So it was all about like, will this guy blend in with the nudist? And when the mom hugs him I mean, these women all hug this guy, this actor. You want to talk about like how they say like an intimacy coordinator? This was in 2003. They were hugging him, brushing up against him, and they're pretty naked. And this is for the WB. And I'm like, that was normal. And I'm like, what we have now, it's like the fucking fun bus is left
It's
the
gone,
building.
dude.
I mean, we didn't even think about it. The actresses were like, yeah, I got to get him to believe it, so I'll do this. And he wasn't mad. He signed his life away because he, you know, I mean, he got a nice massage.
It was,
So it was all commissioned by the WB. So think about that now, how fucking everyone's like, you can't just rub your breastises against an unsuspecting man. Isn't this sad? Sad society.
It is. It's gone down the shitter, man.
But it was fun to do that. So we would do a lot of stuff like that. And basically we learned that people will do anything to get with women, do anything to make money. But they're not bad people.
Yeah. What was your favorite experiment that you did?
It's hard to say. A lot of them people would be mad at now, but they wouldn't be mad at them. The same audience. I always tell people this: the same audience is going to laugh at it, and the same audience can be mad at it. The difference is the people that were mad, I could never see they were mad because they didn't have social media.
Exactly.
One of my favorite one was, I think this was a pretty fun one. I had different ones. There's iconic ones, but I was at the Palms, and the Malibu family at the time, if you know who the Malufs are, they owned a lot of Coors beer.
Okay.
They owned the Palms Hotel.
Okay.
And they owned the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, shit.
So do you remember when the Lakers and the Kings were always having those battles?
When Tim Hardaway was in Sacramento. Yeah.
And so we did a joke on Mike Bibby. Shout out Mike, a legend, USC baller legend.
Oh, yeah, man.
His father, I think, is Lon Bibby, his name is. But legendary Sacramento King, legendary NBA player. And we did a joke, and I was an asshole gambler, and I was trying to bait him into gambling big. And then I beat him, and I said, I got a 21, and he had a 20. And they were two-faced cards. And I say, Shaq and Kobe always beat two kings. You know, and he like, blah, you know, and all this shit. I mean, this was at the heart of the early aughts.
Yeah.
King, Kobe. So, and he was a great sport about it. But what was great was we branded like 3 things. There was like Coors beer in it. It was funny. We had a NBA superstar. It was at the Palms. The real world was shooting over here. We were shooting over there. It was the early MTV WB days.
Yeah, that's badass.
Party at night. You know, this is fun, dude. Like Maxim parties and like things that are like, they happen now, but everyone's such a funny. There's Jamie, he's passed out. I mean, like, fuck.
Film him.
So it was just a fun, and it was the problem that we lack in society today, and I've said this many times on my social media, is nuance. We've lost nuance. We've lost people with senses of humor, really, because the loud, angry few are the voice that get a lot of noise. And unfortunately, the media has lost nuance. They should be like, yeah, that's stupid. Don't be mad at that. And, you know, we're going through it right now, you know, as you're filming this.
Yeah,
if
absolutely,
you want to stamp it, but yeah. So you know how it is.
It's interesting, man. You know, but you're right, because you said something that was interesting to me. You said that the same people are the ones that are mad now. They just didn't have social media. And it's almost like the social media aspect of everything gives everybody a right to, okay, everybody has a right to their opinion. I just think now everybody feels that they have the right to be aggressive with their opinion, man. And dude, like, I'm going to tell you, my show is typically pretty, I mean, it's pretty tame, right? We have some good people on it, right? we don't talk a lot of bad shit. And I have seen people come at people just for breathing, like just any excuse to have a problem with something. It blows me away, man.
Yeah, I'd say that a lot of people, social media has given everybody a voice, but a lot of people should have laryngitis.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know, or if you're woke, take an Ambien. Like, there's two. We gotta get, and there's nuance. Yeah. That's the thing, and it's like, dude, it's in my community. There's comedians that get mad at stuff. It's like, that's our job to test things, and it may go over a boundary you don't like. So, okay, you don't have to laugh it off, but just don't ostracize a person to Greenland. Like, that's the problem. Is the whole canceling thing is the exact bullshit, hypocrisy bullshit of the world, because the most inclusive people are the most exclusive. You're canceled. You don't matter, Shawn. You're a fucking carbon-based life form. But you know what? You said some shit. You're done. What?
Yeah.
How the fuck am I going to eat?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you.
No one cares.
You know what I mean? Here's a fucking, you know what I mean? And you wonder. And they're going to fuck with us? I'm sorry, I'm a little heated right now.
I like it. No,
they're going to fuck with us?
Yeah.
Like, we're the fucking dudes that go. Yeah. We're ready to go. We know what color our hair is. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's too much. You can say whatever you want. Shit, you can punch me in the face, but cancel me?
Like, what?
That's crazy. I'm not supposed to exist?
Yeah.
Fucking suck my original dick.
My original dick.
Can I say that?
Yeah, you did.
The deterrent.
Yes, it's fine.
I'm getting
it's
heated.
Great.
I'm getting heated right now. It's too much going on because the city's burning right now.
It's fucking crazy.
And I'm pissed off because people aren't using common sense.
It's crazy.
The same people that are throwing fucking rocks at the cops are the same people that would fucking lose their mind if their security system went off in Brentwood if someone farted.
Yeah.
They would call those same cops.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
Sorry.
See? I love it.
And you're getting it too.
I love it.
Miami's about to fucking flame up.
The who?
Miami.
Your hammy?
Miami.
Oh, yeah, Miami.
You're about to fucking enjoy.
Hey, thank God I'm on the west coast of Florida.
Well, dude, there's
a bunch of, they didn't have to happen in Southwest Florida. But Miami?
Miami will.
It's already starting.
Yeah.
I saw something on the news.
Yeah.
Today, on accident, because I don't fucking watch
And everyone
this shit,
has the right to protest.
1,000%.
Let's use common sense.
Yes. No, absolutely. But I think it's going a step beyond it, obviously, right? So it's interesting to see, and to the point where we were like, okay, because I'm not from here. I don't know where the fuck this studio is. I don't know where the hotels are. Like, where is it in relation to everything going on?
About 3 miles that way.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Are we that close?
Far. Yeah.
Some bitch.
Downtown's right there.
Wow, we're very close.
But it's a small contained area.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about it, but it's just a small contained area. But like I said, we're the hub in social media. Now you're seeing little flare-ups in Seattle. You're seeing flare-ups in Chicago. I don't know if you saw New York last night.
I think in Philly too. Is there something?
Philly, of course. So it's the summer 2.0, love 2.0.
Yeah.
The issue is what I lost it when I saw people throwing lime scooters, which I took over here, off the bridge at police cars. Lime scooters, dude.
What's the lime? Is that one of those rented scooter things that you put a quarter in?
Attempted murder.
No shit.
That's insane.
Wild, isn't it?
It's insane. And I'm like, these cops had to like get under the bridge, like, but also it's just like the people. Then I see the bullshit celebrities going, "This is a travesty. What's happening in our world?" But again, these are the same people that won't go down there, and they would call those same cops to protect their estate. And it's just, we're at a tough point now, man. And people are at each other's throats. And I'm just telling people, cooler heads got to prevail.
Has to. Has to. But it's interesting, right? Because to my point, I was like, I don't know what it's going to be like. So I thought right here, we were 20 miles away from it.
Nah.
I didn't know.
No.
Like, I was told I was 20 miles away from this, like all that stuff. I'm like, oh, cool, we're good. Like, hey, it's fine. But we don't see anything, right? I haven't seen anything, but it's interesting, man, because it when I see something like that, I'm like, fuck, man, everybody has their reasons. And if they're pissed off or something, like, I get it. But it's like, man, like seeing that on TV, that shit hurts. That's heartbreaking, man, to see all this hate, all this, everything going on, regardless of the reasons. For people listening, and think that I have a certain viewpoint either way. You don't know what the fuck I'm thinking, but I'm going to tell you this is to see the people that have died, you know, cars on fire, lime scooters getting thrown at cops. Like, dude, that's heavy.
Yeah. And no one wants violence. No one wants people to be unlawfully taken from this country.
No.
But it's a rough patch, and it's going to be uncomfortable, but to prevent people from doing their job.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, in a nutshell, is if you break the law, there's going to be consequences, even if you hate the law. I just did a whole pod about it, but
yeah, it's interesting.
But it's just, you know,
with the landscape and everything going on, like the cancel culture, has it shifted your perspective on how you write your comedy, or you just say fuck it and just keep going? Because you're pretty damn authentic. So I probably already answered my question.
I mean, yeah, it's I don't even really write it. It's just like something happens and I react, and then I do it a couple of times, and then like a bit comes out of it.
It's awesome.
I think that I was worried about it. I'm honestly, dude, we're in such a wild place in our world. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think about entertainment. I don't think about the business. I think about there's two types of things going on in this world right now. There's people that are consumers, and there are people that are investigators. And I think since COVID on, there's a whole new awakening of people that want to know what's up, and they can't just sit there and watch some Netflix series because this shit is crazier than anything you're ever going to see on a Netflix show. And I think there's a whole wide awakening of people that don't want to escape. So it's hard. With comedy, it's hard because traditionally it's like they have to make people laugh. And so I can do that, and I have 2 hours where I can just do that and things will happen and crowd work.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just like to go on a real rant, and you get people like, like, here's these, like I was coming out of a Holiday Inn Express. Yes, an Express.
Okay.
And a guy came up to me and goes, I like what you're saying, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. And he walked right
to Hulk Hogan? It sounded like Hulk Hogan right there.
It was in East Tennessee. And he goes, I like what you're doing, brother. And it was like 2:30 a.m. I was like, thanks, dude. And I was like going to a Circle K. Yeah. So it's like it's not as big as my comedy audience yet, but those people are coming to the surface, and they want honesty, and they want it from Hollywood. And a lot of people have had disdain in Hollywood. So in a nutshell, even Netflix, I'm applauding because I think they're being more honest. I think the roast of Tom Brady.
Oh, dude, that shit was badass.
It was so incredible. And it was just joke after joke and hardcore.
No,
and
like
it changed the landscape of Netflix. And I think they were like, we're going to put comedy the funniest wins.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to see that.
The thing that I'm enjoying about Netflix is the fact that
because they were potentially more left leaning, and I think they changed with that.
They have a good mixture of everything for everybody, but it just seems like more of a free platform in a sense of like creativity wise. Like, go ahead, say it. You're here.
It's more leftish leaning, but like the roast did, I think, open it up. And I think at the end of the day, they're a business, and if you're getting views, you're gonna get.
That's
views.
how they make money. It's not about the subscriptions. It's like the license. It's like everything else. Like
But it's not even that. Like, I think for now we're all independent islands. I use 7 platforms, from YouTube to Rumble to Instagram, all of it. And I just put clips out and stuff, and advertise my shows on it. And it's kind of what we have to do, because you can't wait for mommy and daddy to give you a check anymore.
No, I can't. Are you coming to Florida anytime soon?
Dude, I was just there.
Where?
I was in Boca.
Okay.
I went Sarasota, Boca.
Shit.
Naples.
You were just in Naples?
Yeah. Is that your spot?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I did 6 shows at Off the Hook. It's my spot.
When were you there?
I was there 3 weeks ago. I'm glad my marketing worked.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm glad you use your phone with alerts from Jamie Kennedy.
Well, I mean,
Did you get any Facebook ad from me?
No.
Are we friends?
I followed you. You haven't followed me back yet.
You'll be my friend?
I'll be your friend, dude. We got numbers now. Like
I'll poke you.
Yeah, you poke me. I'll poke you back. That's a match, I think.
No, you can poke on Facebook. That was the OG.
Oh, Facebook you can poke. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Florida is, I mean, dude, I do shows from Destin, Jacksonville. I love it. I just did a big run there, but unfortunately,
I'm pissed off I missed it, man.
I know, but I go back a lot because
good.
I just love it there. And it's so funny because you're doing this, and I'm like, I could have a little base in Florida. I don't know where I would live because I like so many places, and then keep my other base out here because you could just go make a bunch of content and then come back.
Yeah. Well, Naples area is beautiful.
Is
beautiful. It's beautiful.
There's a store there called Seed.
Seed to Table.
Yeah.
It's Alfie Oaks.
Dude, it's so party. It's not even, it's like the food's incredible, but it's actually just a party. Like there's bands.
There's a nightclub upstairs.
I want them to start doing comedy.
He probably would.
Bro, it's so good there. And in the bathroom, they have a Joe Biden thing.
The little urinal cake.
I don't want to say it, but
pretty
funny.
I mean, if they've been there, they've seen it.
They've got FJB on the trench.
Yeah, Alfie's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, dude, it's unapologetic about it.
The food is bomb.
Food is so good. So
the coffee is bomb. Like you can get anything there. The sushi, the tacos.
Everything, dude.
Yes.
Like, so one of our friends said to me and my wife, hey, let's do something tonight. Let's do like a family thing. We're like, all right, cool. Where do you want to go? Let's go to Seat at Table. Because I hadn't been there yet.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to go hang out at a fucking grocery store? I know. I was like, what are you even talking about? Like, why would I do this? I'd rather go to the movies and watch a cartoon than go hang out in a grocery store. They're like, trust me. I'm like, all right, fine. So we walk in and I'm like, what the fuck is this place, dude?
It's experience.
Like you go over there and you look to depending on where you come in. So I came in from over here. So I look to the left and there's that bar.
Yep.
And then they're like, hey, can I have a, Miller Lite? They're like, okay, cool. Boom. And the beer comes from up here.
Yeah. It's
That's
so
some
cool.
wild shit.
Yeah.
Or down here, not up here, but
Down.
up in, I'm like
in.
doing this and on the show.
Yeah,
It's
up in.
crazy. Yeah, up in there. Yeah.
This just took a turn.
It's just,
This is for the Patreon only.
exactly. The bonus content.
See, that's the thing. Is like I love Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I love Arizona. All these states that you would think. I love Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I love Texas. I love New York too, even though it gets a little, upbeat. But
Yeah.
I'm always going to love LA, and LA will always be my home. But I definitely can see myself having something somewhere else as well. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it made me it's my bones. Have my name here.
Dude, this is where you built your life.
And even though it's going through a tough time, it's like I never want to abandon it because I love it. And I feel at home, especially right in this area. Like this is where I've lived, this area. I don't live too far and then live not too far. This part of Hollywood, West Hollywood, it's just where everything started in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And there's a gravitational pull. So we just have to, we've gone through some stuff.
Yeah.
This has been a tough year for the city.
Yeah, it sure has. But again, like you said, just like with life and in relationships or the place you live, there's going to be rough seasons.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't mean you abandon that area or that relationship because of a tough season. You go through it, you grow through it, and hopefully the city or the relationship comes out stronger.
Yeah. And it's like this city is made up of every nationality. It's a city of immigrants, from the Mexican culture to the Korean culture to Thai culture to, European, whatever, man. Africans, a lot of Africans here, and the food and the vibe and the different parts of the city. And that's what makes it great. And we want it to be that way.
Yeah.
And I think that they just want everybody to do it in a safe way.
Sure.
Yeah, that's all.
California is interesting because I grew up in the San Francisco Bay. So I can appreciate.
What's up.
Dude, it's a melting pot.
Where did you grow?
So Concord, Walnut Creek area, in the East Bay.
A lot of time out there.
Yeah.
We used to do comedy at our Rooster Tea Feathers.
You know exactly where that is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Walnut Creek.
man.
So the Bay is the Bay.
Yeah.
I always consider the Bay a little more gangster version of LA. Even though
fucking
LA's
right.
gangster, but the Bay is, they don't play. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because every time someone gets in my car, or say, what kind of music do you like? I throw on some RBL Posse or some underground hip hop, and they're like, bro, you're super white. I'm like,
They don't know.
You don't fucking know what I grew up with. Like
you grew up with E40. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I grew up leaving the bike path, walking home and seeing the Bloods chasing my ass. Like, you know, and back then I didn't realize the gravity of the situation, right? But those were gangsters, man. So, but that is funny. Like it is a very gangster area. And I didn't grow up in the actual, like, I'm not saying I grew up in Hunters Point, right? But I had a friend that got shot up in Hunters Point,
Sorry.
right? He lived. So
God.
you know, thank God for that. But, you know, it took a wrong turn at night and, you know, vehicle got sprayed, man. But, you know, so those California, I miss California so
That's
much.
crazy. I'm talking to you. I didn't know. I thought you were a Florida guy.
No,
so
man.
here you are.
I'm a
You
Cali
are
boy.
you're a California native.
I am. I was here the first 21 years of my life, went to Louisiana for school, came back and stayed until 2008 into the mortgage crash or whatever. And then, you know, my family had relocated to Florida. So I went out to Florida and I never came back.
Yeah.
I never came
but
back.
I mean, your roots are here.
My roots are here, man. I'm
Wow.
a Californian, man.
That's
And
your Philly for me.
yeah, it's like there's a certain emotion, man. You know I'm not on East Bay soil right now, but I feel it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm home and there's a certain calm about me being home in California,
It's
man.
very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel that even though I'm originally from Philly and I can do that in Philly, it's a different feeling, but I do feel that in California. It is, and I love that you're saying California because there's pockets from Palm Springs to, you know,
Bakersfield.
100% to where you're at to, you know, Pacific Beach in San Diego. I've touched all corners of the state and I do feel there's little places I know where to go, where to eat, where to sleep. And, you know, I've spent a lot of time in Northern California and I understand exactly what you're saying and they're going through it too.
Yeah.
But it's just absolutely beautiful.
I just love it, man. It's just crazy because it's like, you know, you talk about, you know, all these different pockets of California because there's truly different cultures everywhere in California. You go up to, you know, NorCal, like Eureka, Siskiyous, and it's just woods, man. And it's like, I need a campfire and I need a beer.
Dude.
And like, this is just like, we're going to
One of
kick
my
it.
shows when we opened back up, one of my first shows was in Chico.
Oh shit. That's a fun place.
Bro. And it was early 2022 and I had signed a breast
Oh, good for you.
after my show. But I used to do that a lot. And then we had the Me Too and then we had COVID and everyone. And Chico, shout out Chico, I signed my first breast after like 8 years.
That's awesome.
And I'm
They
like,
brought them back out, man.
I'm like, we're back.
Yeah,
and then
we're
people are
coming.
like, that was like a hello in Chico.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. So that's why I literally have love for Chico for
Yes.
doing that.
It's boobs, man.
Well, it's just, yeah, because
That's
I was
straight.
like, I'm like, okay. And like everyone asked, and she's like, I want it on. And
But dude, it's not even about that. It's about being it's about much more than
yeah, people were laughing. They were having a good time. And it was the
Exactly.
way it was. And everyone wasn't uptight about everything. And of course, we have to get better. And we've made a lot of mistakes.
Sure.
But it's also like, let's move on. Let's, you know, I feel like everyone, we live in a culture now where there's a lot of people that don't know how to have fun. Because like we said, everyone has a voice. And instead of having fun, they're like snitches and like little hall monitors.
Yeah.
And there are definitely people that have to be reported, but it's like
Sure.
at some point, let's all just, I don't know. It's just,
it seems to be and
they don't
without-
want you to have, they want to go, you did that.
yeah, but
You're
like,
bad, Shawn.
without getting too much into it, it's just crazy because it's like it's almost like it becomes it becomes one person says something and it's like, oh, 27 years ago, it's like it becomes everybody starts and it's just
Because we live in a culture that's connected, you can't make a mistake and be in a vacuum anymore,
yeah.
which is good if you're a bad person, but also which is bad if you're a good person that made a bad choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good point, man. California.
Yeah.
Damn.
I
know what
love
I
that
miss-
you're a no-Cal native.
NorCal, man. You know what I love about California? Like food wise, just like do the fucking Mexican food.
Yeah,
It's different.
100%.
We went to
best.
Temecula in last October. My wife and I went to our friend Lauren's wedding, and we stayed in Temecula. And I said, "Babe, while we're here, we're gonna go have some Mexican food." And she goes, "It's how different?" I'm like, "Dude."
Yeah.
She goes, "What are you getting?" I go, "I'm getting a bean, cheese, and rice burrito." And she
Yeah.
goes, "What do you mean? Like it's just beans?" Or I go, "You don't understand. You get what you get, and then I'm gonna give you a bite of mine, and then you're going to try to freaking take my shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And one bite, she goes, what the fuck are those beans? And the beans, it's just different. Even the cheese.
Yeah.
Like I've Googled it. I'm like, why do beans in California taste so much better? I get some bullshit AI answer and no one wants to give me the real reason.
Yeah.
Dude, I miss it, man.
Yeah.
I miss being able to go, and I'm not going to move, but I miss going where I want.
Even people that have a good life and they're successful and they're doing whatever, it's so true, dude. You're a great answer. Yeah. They miss California.
Yeah,
even if you're in the middle of the shit, it's an energy.
It is. It's different.
An energy, and I love that you say that because you're a native.
Yeah,
and you're rare.
Yeah,
because a lot of people fucking up the place.
Yeah, man,
are not natives.
So crazy.
You are.
Man. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man.
We need people like you back.
Oh.
Get a second spot.
What was that, dude? That's a good idea.
I mean, come on, dude. I don't know. You might be OC now, but. You look like you're a guy that would buy a nice spot in Dana Point. But
I don't know, man.
Or if you want to stay in Hollywood.
I mean, dude, seems like a cool place. I mean, I haven't had a bad experience here yet.
Yeah.
So it's been cool. No, man, it's a special place, man. And you're right. You know, it's a great resource and it's being destroyed. And there's a whole bunch of issues going on. You know? I mean, like with the fires and now, you know, the riots, like California is going through some shit, man. And it's really hard to see. You know, just as much as like I only spent 3 years there, but I hate to see hurricanes destroy Louisiana. Yeah. You know, it's heartbreaking. But I also hate to see my hometown in Fort Myers destroyed by Hurricane Ian.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit's wild. So everybody's going through it, man. And, you know, we all have to find ways to continue on, to continue with your comedy and your acting career. And, you know, with me and my show, and teachers got to teach, grocery store clerks got to go to work and everything like that. And it takes a certain amount of determination, right? Because we're all going through some shit and life happens like that. You just don't know what's going to happen, right? So you stay present, and you should value the moments that when there's a certain calm to it, right? But when that adversity hits and that struggle hits, you have to display discipline and determination. So like, as we close down the show, man, the show obviously is called The Determined Society for a reason, right? Because there's certain displays that I feel and that every individual has to display daily. But my question to you is, what does determination mean to you?
You know, I think it's about sticking to the task at hand. And I think we've gotten too sporadic with too many things at once. We're a multitasking society, and, you know, we're literally breeding ADD every day. And I think determined is to have a feeling of a goal you want to achieve. You can't really think it. It has to have a feeling in you. And it's literally following through. But you have to know, like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger says so much about life through his bodybuilding. And he'll tell you, just start with a push-up. And if you can't do a push-up, do a push-up from your knees. Just one. And, you know, there's also that general that says, make your bed. And I think we would all be more beneficial in society if we just did basic tasks of learning how to take care of ourselves, having a basic routine of life, and have it simple. And keep things simple, and then you will learn who you are and what you like. There's so many lost people in the world. And then when you do it, don't beat yourself up of what you're trying to accomplish. I know it's going to sound corny, but the journey really is the destination. You got to love what you do. But in terms of determined, everything that's a failure is just a lesson.
Like the stages and part of the process. Absolutely, man. Great answer, dude.
Try.
Well, hey, dude, I enjoyed you, man. I could have sat here with you for 3 hours.
Thanks, bro.
Dude, like, fun conversation. It just kept getting better. And I'm just glad to have met you, man. And, you know, when you come back out in Florida, hit me up. You know?
Seated table.
Seated table. We can go to Seated Table.
Yes.
And I'll find you a nice realtor that can find you a home.
Bam.
You know, you have your second spot out there in Naples.
I love it.
Attaboy. So, dude, thanks again, though. Seriously.
Thank you, brother. Congrats.
All right, guys. Go check out Jamie, stand-up comedy, touring all over the United States. Go check him out. Until next time, stay determined.